Good morning. Today is Sunday, November 8th, 2020, and I'm Margaret Drugovich, the president of Hartwick College. What a beautiful weekend it has been in Oneonta. 60s and sunny, just absolutely gorgeous. Well, we have 2 more weeks of in-person instruction before we take our break for Thanksgiving. Then following the Thanksgiving holiday, we'll have 1 week of remote-only class followed by a week of exams. I remind us all of this schedule because I fear that we're all suffering from COVID-inspired Blur's Day fatigue. Blur's Day is when Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all just blur together. I wish I had made that up. Our overfilled 7-day-a-week schedules have been peppered with unexpected disruptions that don't follow a schedule at all. This has made it difficult to orient to and mark the important passage of time. But whether or not we feel that we're in control of our time, we should take a moment to think about how we have filled it. We have now completed 10 weeks of classes and labs and studios. Hundreds of papers written, hundreds of experiments completed, hundreds of works of art and performance created. We did not think we could, but we have. To date, it's amazing, but Hartwick students with positive COVID tests and the hundreds more with suspected exposure have completed a total of over 4,000 days of quarantine. Because of a new cluster in one of our residence halls, more students were put into precautionary quarantine on Friday. I know. It's difficult to be subject to constraints that are the result of the actions of a few. And I know every quarantine day is a challenging day. But you have done and are doing what is necessary. And I am very proud of you. And an election which felt like it would never arrive and then never be settled, did arrive and is now settled. Just as it has arrived and been settled 58 times every 4 years since the first U.S. presidential election in 1788. If you took your time to do it, I thank you for voting. The right to vote is precious. There are countries where women do not have the right to vote. There are autocracies where citizens do not have the right to vote for their leaders. In some countries, voting is allowed, but it's also mandatory. It's not a free choice. So if you took your time and you exercised your right to vote, you were one of 160 million Americans who voted, and your vote helped to break a 120-year record for voter turnout. We have now seen that every vote does count in our democracy. No matter your party, voting is the best way to assure that we will all be able to vote again. So, time moves on, and we're figuring it out. To my mind, we can be proud of the many good choices that have been made by many members of our community on how to spend this unusual, uncomfortable, and inconvenient time. So it's now time to prepare for students to be able to depart campus for Thanksgiving break. As I noted last week, we are taking a 2-step testing process in advance of Thanksgiving break. So, Monday through Wednesday of this week, every Hartwick student who resides on or commutes to our campus will be required to take a rapid COVID test. Students, you received an email from John Sarnecki last week with instructions on how to book a time. Over 420 students have registered so far, which means that many still have not. Please follow through. This is a really easy and fast test to take, and you will know the results within 15 minutes. please look for John Tarnecki's email and watch his very helpful video. So here's how it will work. Students who test positive on this rapid test will follow the Department of Health protocols for isolation. They will then be able to return to their homes for Thanksgiving break. Students who test negative on the rapid test will then take a campus-based PCR test between November 12th and November 15th. Now, students, this is the same test that you've been taking all semester. Students who test positive on that PCR test will follow the Department of Health protocols for isolation. Now, students, you also received a communication about this second PCR test. Please be sure to follow the instructions. We are not being required to take these steps. We are testing in this way to ensure that students can return home for break with some information about their infection status. And we are hoping that very few, if any, students will need to spend their Thanksgiving on campus in isolation. It's not what I want, and I know it's not what you want. So students, you can control the outcome of your tests and whether you were able to return home on time. Our 63 cases to date, including our 17 currently active cases, have shown us that there is no mystery to COVID-19. It gets passed between people, and most often, those people who contract it have let their guard down. Testing will only tell you whether you're infected. It does not protect you in any way. But with all the awareness that we have built around COVID-19, testing is the extra step that the college can take right now. So, protect your families, protect your friends, protect your holiday. Do not gather. You cannot make parties safe enough. Do not go to bars. You cannot make bars safe enough. Wear your mask. Keep a safe distance from others. The choice, as it has been, really is yours. Let me add one word to the grandmother who called to request that we restart our athletic socialization process. I hear you. We will do this if we can. We do care about your grandson and his happiness. But this COVID is a beast. And our first priority must be to put the interests of the whole community above the interests of individuals. Even so, I thank you for advocating for him. He is a lucky young man to have your support. And parents, with 3 weeks of class left in the fall term, please check in with your student. Ask how things are going. Ask about his or her recent grades. Encourage your student to seek assistance now if they're not satisfied with their academic progress. It's not too late, but time is running out on the semester. Despite the Blur's Day effect of COVID, despite our current challenges, we are reflecting on what we've learned, and we are planning for what comes next. We are actively making plans for the resumption of in-person instruction in J-term and spring term. We are planning to have the majority of our students on campus starting on January 18th. We do know that some students may not want to leave their homes because of health concerns that place them at greater risk for COVID-19. Students who wish to study remotely will need to apply and receive permission. So students, please be sure to watch for and read Vice President McGrath's message about this important topic. In addition, a group of faculty and staff are reviewing our fall academic program and are speaking with employees to discern how we can improve the academic experience for spring. We will also be conducting a survey and possibly focus groups of students so that we can learn about your fall learning choices. What went well? What you will need help with when you return? Your use of technology, and what you hope for in January term and spring term. I know you're busy, but when you receive an invitation to complete the survey, please accept it. We want to make J-term and spring term as good as it can be for all members of our community, but especially for you. I want to close this video today with a few words of thanks. First, to Amy Gardner, the director of the Perella Wellness Center, and to all of your colleagues who are caring for and managing our students in this continually evolving situation. Your compassion continues to be the first step in the healing process. Thank you. To Devin White, our director of Aramark Food Services, thank you for doing what must be done on a moment's notice and for wanting the best for our students always. Your open heart and open mind truly make a difference. And to members of the senior leadership team and strategic response team, your leadership continues to be vital to our success. I thank you. And finally, to all Hartwick employees, Hartwick graduates, Hartwick parents and friends who remain on the COVID front line, caring for our students, caring for a record number of new COVID cases throughout the U.S., caring for us, caring for our children, thank you. We have not forgotten you, and we continue to be grateful. It is with gratitude that I offer today's song, Alicia Keys' Good Job, as performed by the One Voice Children's Choir. Be safe. Please wear your mask. Have a great Sunday.